Well. A lot of people in the Notre Dame community that I know never thought this day would happen, but it is here. Marcus Freeman is the next Bob Hinton defensive coordinator at the University of Notre Dame and also takes over the linebackers coach duty. Nick Lazinski, some thought would take over that role, but doesn't really matter. Marcus Freeman is the next DC at Notre Dame. This is absolutely massive. I really think this is the difference for Notre Dame to win a national championship. I think this is the key piece, the missing piece. The last gauntlet in Thanos is whatever. This is major. Marcus Freeman took a bunch of 2-stars. They pretty much should have won that game, excuse my voice crack, against Georgia in the Peach Bowl on New Year's Day. Wow, this is incredible. Sure, they were 2-stars, but he could recruit. For what he had, he could recruit. He's a hell of a recruiter. He's going to take these talents to South Bend. And I am so excited. Earlier today, news broke that he had accepted the LSU job. That also happened yesterday. That was not the case. He didn't leave Baton Rouge until last night with his family and his wife. Went back to Cincinnati, I guess, talked to Luke Fickell today. His family also joined him for a South Bend trip on Tuesday. And he chose Notre Dame. This is just absolutely massive. Recruiting will skyrocket. I expect a lot more defensive commitments in the 2022 class. I think this locks up Sebastian Cheeks. This will definitely help with guys like Tyson Ford, guys like that. This is absolutely massive. This is huge. I'm so thrilled that Notre Dame was able to land Marcus Freeman. One of the most talented and aspiring coaches in all of football. I think Marcus Freeman is going to probably have a 3-year stint with Notre Dame and then be a P5 head coach like Clark Lee. Whether that's in the Midwest where he's spent his years. He was the Purdue linebackers coach. I believe he coached Ohio State something, maybe assistant linebackers coach. He's been funneling in the Midwest, Purdue, and of course, since he was his last stop. Had offers after last season concluded to join the Tennessee Titans and be their linebackers coach, which was reportedly a lucrative deal, probably multi-million-dollar deal, multi-year deal. He declined that, and he also declined the Michigan State defensive coordinator job that Luke Fickell was also offered. So Freeman stays one more year at Cincy, and it pays off. Could have went to LSU, but decided to go to Notre Dame. This just shows Swarbrick and Kelly will pay the big bucks. Swarbrick said a few months ago that they're going to pay, and they're going to pay more than any school. It's not about money, because in the past, Elko got paid $0.25 million more by Texas A&M. No. Notre Dame made a statement here, and they said, you know what? We'll pay. LSU was reportedly offered, $2.5 million a year for Marcus Freeman, which is bonkers for a DC spot. And I guess Notre Dame matched it and might have offered more. I'm not sure Clark Lee's salary. I doubt it's more than $2 million. But Clark Lee to Vanderbilt was just going to happen. Played there in the early 2000s. Been the DC at Notre Dame for 3-4 years. Had a lot of connections there. Program's in a messy spot. They need someone like him to clean it up. Some keys to Marcus Freeman, of course, on the Notre Dame side of things, and how he will be the key to a national championship. Recruiting, of course, youth. You can say, Clark Lee's 4 years. Clark Lee's 38. Marcus Freeman's 35. But Clark Lee is up in the booth with some of the other guys. Marcus Freeman's on the field, jumping up and down. I watched the whole Cincinnati-Georgia game. Marcus Freeman is electric on the sidelines. Dude looks like he's playing in the league right now. He's jumping up and down, running side to side. Just an absolute hell of a coordinator, and hell of a coach, and hell of a mentor to these kids. I think Prince Collie will find lots of success in his scheme. D-line, of course, will continue to do great things under Mike Elston. who's probably the second option in this. If Notre Dame did not land Marcus Freeman, though, for the record, I was really hoping they'd go the NFL route, hire a linebackers coach in the NFL, but we don't have to worry about that because Marcus Freeman just signed. So yeah, my top two coordinators that I hope would end up in the blue and gold, or at least one of them. Marcus Freeman was probably number one, and Derek Mason was number two. Derek Mason was just announced, I think, yesterday or the day before, to be the next Auburn DC. Good spot for him. And then Marcus Freeman later today. So this is big time. This is really, really big. And gosh, I'm so excited. This is absolutely massive, Notre Dame fans. This shows we will pay for the best of the best. And with this, we will recruit with the best of the best. I was psyched Notre Dame is most likely, unless something drastic happens, will finish in the top 10 over at 247's team rankings. The team rankings, sure, they don't matter, but Marcus Freeman, boy, with how little he had in Cincinnati back in 2017 when Luke Fickell and him revamped the entire program, and what he has now at Notre Dame, and how much trust Coach Kelly and Jack Swarbrick have in him, this is dangerous, guys. This is dangerous. Well, I think I'm going to end it here. This was an ecstatic past hour for me. Oh, wow. This is crazy. This is big time. Notre Dame fans, this is big time. Got a big grin on my face, got a big smile. And I'm going to see all the incentives, all the small details, and what all the South Bend analysts and writers have to say about this. Thank you for watching.